Hi, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your July 16th to the 31st, 2023 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps this channel grow, and it helps it be seen by the YouTube algorithm. So, thank you so very much for doing so. It means the world to me. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy we need to be mindful of during this time, Scorpio. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is the 10 of Pentacles reversed. It almost feels, okay, so this is going to sound rather dramatic, but we can be feeling rather dramatic during this time. It almost feels like we're cursed. It almost feels like everything I try to do or everywhere I try to do it, it's not working out the way that I want it to. It's almost like the vision that we have in our mind, it it can't be translated into the waking world. That's not true. We're comparing ourselves against unrealistic expectations. We're also comparing ourselves against somebody who's either been doing it a heck of a lot longer than we have, or who there's just something here where it's like, you're not them, so stop. And that's going to be a really important thing. During this time, Scorpio, it's like, stop looking at anybody else, just look at you. And there isn't a curse on you. Like there isn't this like darkness, shadow, you can't do this, you can't achieve type of thing. It's just that our world is so about, comparing and contrasting and, keeping up with whomever. And Spirit's saying, stop. The only person you need to keep up with, the only person you need to, live up to is you. Be kind to yourself, be gentle to yourself. You're actually going to find that your ancestors, your history, your karmic history even, is playing a huge role in guiding you forward in a way that's right for you. It doesn't have to be right for anybody else. You might sit there and be like, wow, this is so different. The way we end the month can be so different than, the middle part of it, the way, or even the way we started the month. And it's almost a sense of like, I've let myself come home. I've let myself see me, be open, be honest, and be loving to myself. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and Spirit guides. Here we have devoted reversed. We're questioning a lot during this time. And questioning is good. Remember, Buddha said, question everyone, even me. We're questioning what we're devoted to. What do we want? How do we want things to move forward? What are we looking for in our lives? That questioning is a good thing. But we can almost feel like certain things that tethered us, that held a meaning to us or a purpose to us, they're not there right now. And it doesn't mean that they're gone. It doesn't mean that we're completely like adrift in the world. It just means that we're looking at and reevaluating what we're devoted to and why we're devoted to it. And that's not a bad thing. A questioning, seeking time is a perfect time for a Scorpio. I mean, seriously. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. guide this reading. And show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. So what's really interesting here is that we have two gifts coming forward, one with the Ace of Wands and one with the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Wands, passion, creativity. We're not taking that quite yet. Why? We're dealing with a lot that has knocked us off balance. And this is going to be a time where we're looking at vampiric energy. We're looking at things that have drained us, things that have overwhelmed us. We're looking at, just simply being overwhelmed. And in that energy of being overwhelmed, we're then saying to ourselves, well, why aren't I producing? Why aren't I moving forward? Why aren't I at that place where I believe I should be? And it's because Spirit is saying here, stop looking at what I want and ask divinity, the universe, what do you want? And I know that sounds silly, okay? Or it can sound too spiritual or too much. It's like I should be able to have what I want in my life. And that's true. That is true. But we're not always able to. Or what we want, if we slow down and we really connect with our souls and ourselves and say, well, what is it that I really want? And not what is it that I want to show other people that I can have it, or to prove to other people that I'm just as good as them, or, whatever point we're trying to make. But if we just say, what is my soul? What is myself? What do I need? That's going to be a big thing, because there's something here where it's for somebody else. And it's like, okay, that's fine. Sometimes we have to do things for other people. That's just part of life. But here, there's vampiric energy. There's something that we're trying to measure up to, live up to, connect with, be a part of. It's not right for us. We actually don't like it. We don't like it. It's not what our soul deeply desires. And this is going to be a time where we're going to think, oh, I should be moving on to something new, or I should be, going to something different. It's like, no, you're going to go back to something that was meaningful to you once upon a time, that was purposeful to you. And now it's like, oh, I'm connecting with me again. Because we tried to be other things for other people. And now that devoted energy, that devoted reversed, is also asking us, are we devoted to ourselves? Are we devoted to what we love and what we want in our world? We're not connecting. We've cut ourselves off. We've, been so set on doing things a certain way, proving a certain point, that we've forgotten ourselves along the way. So just be aware of that. Be aware we can be getting headaches, stomach aches. We can be really sensitive to foods. So just be very mindful of what you're eating, and look at your tummy, like afterwards, like listen to your stomach, say, oh, wow, is that giving me an upset stomach? Is that not? Did that give me heartburn? We might find that we get heartburn during this time, and it's because we're not connecting emotionally to ourselves, or our heart feels overburdened. We need to ground ourselves. We need to root ourselves to the earth and connect ourselves with our dreams, because there's a sense of we've gotten disconnected. And sometimes we need to be, sometimes we need to be focused, and we need to disconnect because it's too much. The world can be just too much at times. But this is a time where we need to look at what we want and what we desire, and the vampiric energy, other people's expectations, other people's wants and needs, and what we think we should be doing. It's time that we say, you know what, enough is enough. This is my life. And it's not being egotistical. It's really just saying, this is my life, and I get to be happy in it. I get to connect in it. And if other people understand, that's great. And if other people don't, that's also great. It moves us to the Two of Pentacles. There's trickery around us. And there's something here that, like, they're wanting to rile our emotions. Like somebody wants to get our goat. They just do. They just want to get a reaction. Now, it could just be that this person, they're having a bad day, they're having a bad time, and they just want to get a reaction out of people. So be mindful of that. But we're juggling too much, and we can take it too personally, and it can knock us off balance. This is going to be a time where we have to ground ourselves. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to look at the energy of what we want, of what we need, of what's important, and call out the lies, even the lies that we're telling ourselves. Because sometimes we're sitting there and saying, but this is so important, and this is what I need, and I need to start worrying, and I need to do this, and I need to do that. And if I'm not totally neurotic about this, or on top of this, then it's not going to happen. And Spirit's like, why are we taking the joy out of everything? There's a beauty and there's a power to us. We need to connect with it. We need to look at our balance. We need to harmonize ourselves, and we need to embrace love during this time. If we can say, I matter, and I am moving forward in love, and I am finding balance within myself, that's going to be such a good thing. And stepping back and embracing our breath. It's such a simple thing, but we never focus on our breath unless it's causing us trouble. This is going to be a time where if we can just sit quietly and breathe, that's going to help balance us. That's also going to help lessen, the stress in our shoulders, because I'm just seeing our shoulders rising higher and higher, as we're trying to balance more and more. And here it's like release the tension in your shoulders, release the tension that you're carrying. And some people, they're just going to want to make trouble. They just like to stir the pot. They just like to poke the bear type of thing. That's who they are. And you're dealing with somebody who's just that. They just want to poke the bear. And now it's time to step back and say, listen, you can rile everybody else up. I'm not rising. I'm not rising to your nonsense. And that's really going to get them. With the Ace of Wands reversed, there's a gift coming our way. It's a gift of passion. It's a illumination within a darkness. It's really looking at things and really being empowered. We're not taking it quite yet. And I know a lot of us are screaming and saying, no, but I want to take this. I need this. I need to move forward this way. Spirit is like, first you have to work on you. And first you have to be in balance with you before the illumination will come, before the kind of like magic will set in, and everything will start to fall into place the way that we really want it to. So be aware of that. The Ace of Wands reversed right now, I'm just seeing it almost like a broom. I'm seeing it like sweeping certain things up, tidying certain things up. It's sweeping, it's dusting, it's getting rid of the build up. And then it's the moving forward in passion and power and creativity and insight and ideas. And it moves us to the Wheel of Fortune. Now, it's interesting because we have two tens reversed. Now we have the 10 finances and we have the 10 of the major arcana. So there's something here that we think we've completed a cycle. We haven't. Okay, we haven't come to the completion of a cycle, or the conclusions that we have come to aren't necessarily right. So this is going to be a time where we're actually looking back at things. We're looking at things again. We're giving things a second look, and we're going to be kind of ticked that we're having to do that. It's like, no, it needs to be moving forward, moving forward. But sometimes the most powerful way to move is not backwards, because we're not redoing a day. This isn't Groundhog's Day. But what we're doing is we're revisiting something that our soul is calling us to. And we're not wanting to revisit it because we're like, oh, no, it's not right. It's not this, it's not that. And we can actually feel uncomfortable. There's something about feeling uncomfortable. And Spirit's like, yeah, you feel uncomfortable because we didn't fully look at this. We didn't fully embrace this. We didn't fully see this. And that's going to be a very powerful thing. Our emotions that are attached to this are bigger, okay, than we need the emotions to be. There's something here where I'm actually seeing this more as past life. I'm seeing this more as ancestral, where something from the past is coming forward. And it can be for us past life karmically, but it can also be ancestrally, where there's something here and there's bigger emotions attached to it than we need it. So we need to water it down. I'm seeing the red, we need to water it down to pink. All right. So this is a time, if you're choosing a color in your wardrobe. I mean, I love the jewel tones, the bright, vibrant colors. But if you're choosing red and you have pink and you can choose pink, choose pink. You need to have it watered down a bit. Watered down a bit. Okay? It's just going to be, there's something here about a softer shade, about lessening the intensity. And that's really going to help you to move forward. So I don't know. And it can't even be, I don't know why Spirit is being so like adamant, but it can't even be like with dyeing of cloth. Okay? Like you're trying to get this vibrant color and Spirit's like, no, it needs to be softer. It needs to be gentler. And that's going to be very important here. There's something that you're coming to the conclusion to, and you think it has to be like a higher note. It has to be so much, but it's softer, it's gentler, it's calmer, it's much more subtle. But in its subtlety, it actually pulls everybody's attention. So just know that, because you're thinking, oh no, this isn't right. It has to be just like this intensity, this pounding, this ferocity. I'm seeing with keys and with music, it just has to be intense, intense. But I see it as subtle, but I see it as super complex here. So somebody's going to think, oh no, if it's not like overly saturated, it it wasn't as intense as it needed to be. And Spirit's like, oh no, it is. And then it moves us to the Ace of Swords. This is God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, cutting through doubts, fears, negativity, hurts, pains, disappointment. There's a real sense of embracing our voice, embracing our knowledge, of claiming our voice. There's something here with a really quick wit, a really quick, way with words, ideas, understandings. You can have these rapid fire kind of conversations. Your Mercury, okay, interesting. Spirit is showing here your Mercury is going to be really important. So wherever your Mercury lies in your natal chart, that can be it. If you're ruled by Mercury, which you're not, Pluto is ruled by, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, was once upon a time ruled by Mars. But there's something here about Mercury. Mercury rules Gemini and rules Virgo. So that's of relevance to somebody. But there is a sense here of the ideas, the moving forward of knowledge. Hermes is the Greek, is the Greek word, is the Greek name for Mercury, the god Mercury. Right? Hermes. Yeah. Greek or Roman. I can't remember right now. And there's a sense here of knowledge moving you forward. There's a sense of clarity. There's a sense of victory. The laurel wreaths of victory. There's something here. It's that Christmas song, the holly, it has the berry. Yeah. I don't remember it. Gosh, I listen to it like every Christmas. But it's like the holly, it has the berry, as red as can be, or yeah. But there's something here where it's a clarity of ideas. It's a sense of a tradition, but it's not. It's like an old tradition. It's an old tradition around the holidays, a clarity of insight, a clarity of ideas that are coming forward. And there's something here where it can be like somebody's having like a Christmas in July type of energy coming forward because I'm smelling, the spices, and there's mulled wine, and there's this brightness. It's interesting, the path that is taken on. But there's also a sense of clarity coming forward. There's a celebration coming forward as well. And there's a sense here of really being able to embrace something that's super important to you. It's like there's a clarity, there's an insight, there's a power of words and of desire and of what you want and what you're looking for. And this is going to be a time where you're really cutting through a lot of nonsense and saying, no, I'm moving forward in victory. Now, the sword of truth is also, Uranus is also known as the unyielding sword of truth. And that is Aquarius energy as well. But there's an unyieldingness in the knowledge that is coming forward. And you can be almost overwhelmed by it. So just be aware of that. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and that's the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords can be astoundingly cutting. This is a person who gives an insult and a compliment in the same breath, and that's just how they operate. This can also be a person who is just, when the Queen of Swords is to be mindful of, she's just mean. She's just mean. And there's an energy here of just somebody who is mean, that wants to cut you down to size, kind of thinks you're too big for your britches type of thing. And just be mindful about this. This can be a woman, it can be a man, however they identify. But there's a sense here of like, don't fall prey to them, because there's a cleverness to you that's coming forward. And there's something that you're revisiting, that it's almost like, but wait, like, I don't want you to have that power. I don't want you to have that knowledge. I don't want you to have that authority. It moves us to our subconscious spirit message. And this is evolve reverse. We don't feel like we're evolving. We actually feel like we're stuck during this time. But when we look back at it, we're going to be like, oh, wow, like I actually progressed so far, or I, overcame so much. So just be aware that we're going to be super hard on ourselves. And we're thinking, wow, I'm supposed to be a lot further. And spirit is like, no, you're supposed to be looking at this. You're supposed to be redoing this. Like, like stepping back into this. It's almost like you're stepping back into you because there's a disconnect. And it brings us then to our subconscious tarot message. And that's, yeah, okay, that's Aquarius energy. This, the unyielding sword of truth, Uranus, rules Aquarius. So here we have the star, and there's a sense of your dreams moving forward, like a sense of this is what I deeply want. And you've been out of harmony with what you've been going after and what you thought you wanted, and even what you thought you deeply wanted, and what your soul is actually longing for. So Spirit's like, slow it down and connect, because there's a power here, and there's a power to you that's coming forward because you're stepping back into yourself. And that's going to be a magnificent thing. There's a beauty to you. There's an insight to you. There's a real sense of like cleaning house. Okay. And I just see this as a broom, like sweeping out, sweeping out, sweeping out. And then there's a connecting with our dreams, what we seriously, deeply want within our soul that we've been tweaking and changing because because it's almost like time told us we had to change it. And Spirit's like, no, now we're stepping back to where we're supposed to be. Okay. All right, Scorpio. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony. Scorpio, may blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.